This is not the Church of Emmanuel, Christ of Latter-day Saints, of Joseph Smith. This is the Church of Jesus Christ.
Each of you bring your right arm to the square. Each of you bow your head and say yes.
Travis Wayne Goodsell, Church News Time. When you learn that your religion, your church, is lying to you about something, do you stay in the church, brush off the lies, and continue on? Or are you wise enough to say, wait a minute, what else are they lying about? And do you leave? Because obviously they can't be true. Because they're lying. Which means they're false. Thus not true. You'd think that would be pretty obvious for Mormons, as the Gospel Topics essays came out in 2013 and confessed that they'd been lying to us. But now they're telling us the real truth. And so then the Joseph Smith papers came out. And again, the church is saying this is now the authorized documents, and we've been lying to you the whole time. And because they're authorized documents, they are finally the truth. So as Mormons, are you studying them? Are you finding out what the church has been lying to us about? Or are you refusing to do so that you can stay Mormon? It's real simple. The church has confessed to lying. Who is the author of all lies? Not complicated. Real, simple logic. There are no excuses. There are no apologies. There are no justifications. There are no exceptions. The church has confessed to lying. And as I've been studying and going over it with you for years, everything is a lie. Thus I do church news videos, because they're the latest lies of the church. And so it should concern every Mormon who understands that this church is lying, that they're focusing on children. There's a whole bunch of For Strength of Youth meetings and firesides and activities and social media sites, all doing a blitz on kids. And of course, Brad Wilcox. Remember him? You do not let liars in charge of children. You do not let a false church be in charge of your children. What the hell are you thinking, parents? And then, of course, there's lots of temples that are going to be dedicated, that have been dedicated. They're having an open house. But the church is lying. All right, section 119. Priestcraft. Section 119 is therefore a forged document. It is not by Joseph Smith. Because remember, they're lying about everything. You're not stupid enough to fall for their lies and believe that Joseph Smith somehow completely did a 180 shift on the church. Are ya? Oliver Cowdery was in shock about that. The Danites told David Whitmer, and David Whitmer told Oliver Cowdery, and Oliver Cowdery almost died of shock. He changed the name of the church to include Jesus? Critics won't even acknowledge that. They only focus on him saying that there were no plates. You get caught up with your own will that you miss the big picture. And then the big story. The church refused to wait until conference. Again. And I just did the video last week. Brought it up. And sure enough, the church again, having listened to me, want to give me the middle finger, and they did it. We've got the replacement for the member of the presidency of the 70. Hilarious. And so, what is interesting is that Elder Kieran was the senior president because he was the last one called. This is important because they are violating the scriptures yet again. It's in section 107 of the Doctrine and Covenants. Joseph Smith goes over the different quorums and explains them in this big meeting. In the Joseph Smith papers, you can see the licenses given to everyone. And you'll notice the name of the church. It's missing a certain name of a certain Christ, of a certain religion that is great and abominable. Because it's not Joseph's. But nonetheless, you'll find this interesting. Verse 91. They've been lying to us, remember? And again, the duty of the president of the office of the high priesthood is to preside over the whole church. Yeah, Nelson. And to be like unto Moses, not Peter. But Nelson did his photo op with the statue idol god of Peter at the Vatican Temple. Why would he lie? Well, because his baby name meaning is Lucifer, Russell Marion. I've done the videos, I've made the pictures, I'm trying to warn you, and instead, Mormons reveal they're Danites. You won't leave the church, therefore you're a Danite. Just like your ancestors who murdered Joseph. And so, right after this, he goes over the 70. Verse 93. And it is according to the vision showing the order of the 70 that they should have 7 presidents. Go back and read verse 22 again for who's supposed to succeed Joseph Smith as the president. To preside over them, chosen out of the number of the 70. Oops. Nelson chose this new guy. Oops. That's not the big one for the news story today, though, even though that's part of it. He's going against the law given through Joseph Smith, the founder of this church, as this church claims. And they're just saying, bleep Joseph, we'll do whatever we want. We're not going to follow his scriptures. If we want to practice priestcraft, we're going to do it. If we're going to change the law of chastity to follow polygamy, we're going to do it. Oh my God. And if we want to overthrow the government to restore our kingdom, we're going to do it. We're not going to save it. Save the Constitution hanging by a thread. You're not getting it yet? They will not obey the law through Joseph. They will not follow the Book of Mormon, the keystone. Are you not getting it? This is a no-brainer. This is, oh, wow, okay, game's over. We lost. I better go home and never go back to church. But you're gonna. So here's the other thing. And these 7 presidents are to choose other 70 besides the first 70 to whom they belong. Oops, that's never been done since Brigham Young. And are to preside over them. And also other 70 times 70. Wait a minute. Yeah, whoops, I skipped verse 94. And the 7th president. So the first one who's been in there the longest, right? We're doing the 7th son of the 7th son. I need a paper. Is to preside over the other 6. Right there, in the law of Mormonism. Okay? So the 70 pick the 7 presidents and any replacements over time. And the 7th pick of the 7 presidents presides over the others. Okay? And then these choose replacements for the 70. 93, 94, 95. And this obviously isn't being done. Okay. Why are Mormons still Mormon? I don't get it, other than they know they're evil. For the 17th of January, 2024, new LDS assignments in the presidency of the 70. Elder Carl B. Cook is senior president. And Elder Marcus B. Nash is appointed to the presidency. The first presidency of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints has announced 2 changes to the presidency of the 70. They will not obey their own law. Elder Carl B. Cook, a member of the presidency since 2018, is now senior president. That technically means it's a demotion. He's the oldest, and now he's being demoted to the youngest. But no! And then the first presidency appointed Marcus B. Nash to be added. He's supposed to be the senior president. God. It's just, oh my God. They will not obey their own law. Why are you still Mormon? Unless you are the enemy. Dear God.